He's trying. He's trying. All right.
All right,
All right.
go start off, Rich.
Tunema Gaming.
Oh, it sucked.
I'm sorry, I'm not you or Chepo. I can't just scream. I'll be like,
There you go.
welcome back.
Yeah, welcome
Let's
back.
so this is our second video
So yeah, following
of
up
the
on
day.
the
This
on
is
the changes from season 1 characters into season 3. So this is our
right,
season 2
and this is
characters.
just going to be season 2 characters and how they are going to act in season 3. Now I gotta admit, a few of these I don't remember nothing, but I'm sure once we start going through them, I'll know what to
It's all
go.
right.
So
I
Jose,
got my
you want to
bullet
just
points in
you
front of
want?
me.
Yeah, so do
All
I.
right, cool. Jose, you want to start it off, Jose?
Sure. TJ Combo. So TJ Combo started off and he lost the linker version of Tremor. He can no longer shadow that, right? Wait, is the shadow version or the actual just linker itself?
I think it's the linker itself, but
Okay.
I could be wrong if I remember correctly.
Yeah.
I mean, honestly, he really didn't.
Did Chepo just come back from the dead?
Move that.
Chepo
He's
is
like,
back.
Yeah.
Welcome, dude. Chepo's here. We got the whole squad.
Oh, we got a little bit of
Let's
echo.
Yeah, yeah. No, just
That's
Chepo,
'cause
like
I
we
was
said
yelling.
earlier, guys, he's not feeling too good, so he's actually taking a little bit of nap. He might jump in and out. Who knows? But yeah, he lost the Tremors linker, and he did get some damage nerfs, about 10%, 15. What is it? 10% flying knee ender, vortex ender, damage reduced by 10, 15, and then 20, so on and so forth, with the splat and the meteor. His tumble is no longer like completely invincible. Now he can take damage
Yeah,
from
you
low
can just
attacks.
kick him right out of it.
Yep.
Kick him right out of that tumble, which is nice because I hate that tumble.
Yeah, a lot of
The
people hate
hitbox
that.
is also reduced
Is it? Okay. Yeah,
on the trimmer. I'm sorry.
on the tremor. Okay.
Yeah, that's very important because you don't just get fucked over by it when
Yeah,
he just does it
he
full
won't be able
screen.
to capture you from outer space. That's what they're saying. Yeah,
Yeah.
like if you're up in the air, it's less likely for you to get hit by it. It's been reduced
Mhm.
damage and box wise. And let's see. Oh, his shoot toss is now slower, so you can actually see. You have a better chance of seeing it. You will still get tossed around, but at least now you have a little bit of a chance to get out of it. And he can't cancel his shadow power line anymore into spinning behind you on block.
Honestly, I feel
Yeah.
like our predictions from yesterday are pretty much right. Like, yeah, all these things changed with him, but really, when you see like the gameplay of him, it's basically the same
Yeah,
TJ
it's
combo
the same TJ. Just
we all know
tuned
and
down.
love.
Like his big buffs, he got various target combos, and like we said, he's gonna just gain various combos, and a lot of these lead into stagger. A lot of his normals actually lead into stagger as well. He got some air target combos, and he actually now has what is it called? He now actually has damn, what's the word I'm looking for? The vortex. He actually has like a real one now.
Yeah.
It's not like invulnerable from the beginning to end, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, honestly, there wasn't a lot of changes from. He could do some flip out attacks, and it's gonna be really nasty.
Yeah, flip out attacks are really important for TJ since he has the command grab.
Yeah.
And
So
and
his
stagger
mix-up game's gonna be
capabilities.
so he benefited a lot more than most other characters when it comes to flip outs.
Yeah.
Just like
Also,
anyone with command grabs benefits a lot, just like Thunder. But I think him the most because his command grab goes so far with the roll.
Right.
So it's you need TJ combo guys using flip outs are gonna be it's gonna be crazy.
Yeah, and that shoot toss actually does less KV on the meter, so you can definitely do some juggles and stuff out of that. So like before, it was like what, like 50, 75%, like in there, like complete, so you couldn't really do much afterwards. But now you have a much greater
Yeah.
chance to do some big damage out of that. But yeah, I mean, honestly, he just got some more combos. He didn't look like he got like super nerfed or anything. Just a little bit fine tuning, some more opportunities. If anything, it was more of a buff, I think. Like they said,
Yeah,
he did,
definitely with the stagger, man. Like
Yeah.
the fact that he could just
It's gonna
stagger
help him
you
out a
off so
lot.
many moves. Oh yeah, dude.
Yeah, and like even if he
It's
did lose that linker, he had like 5 other ones to replace it, so it's all right. It's okay.
Man, I just keep thinking about it. I think he might be S tier also, man. If like I said, dude, those flip outs and staggering,
He's gonna help him
man,
out a lot.
whew, that sounds scary, man. That sounds scary, but
um,
no, we'll see.
yeah. Maya is up next, and this is the second retooled character. So if you put the map together, there's supposed to be 2 retooled characters. Spinal was one of them. Maya's the next one, so that means Conra isn't. So stay tuned for his changes. But Maya got a bunch of little nerfs here and there. Some damage reductions. Her dagger toss no longer does chip damage. Her leap, or that mantis strike, she can no longer do that jumping backwards. She can only do it forwards. So like she can't catch you off guard with that anymore.
Her dagger toss isn't deal chip anymore.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, so that's pretty important.
Yeah. Just some little things like that. But now,
Oh man, oh how the daggers follow you around.
yeah, yeah. Now she has a new instinct. This is part of her retooling. Now with the retooling, when she does her dagger enter, instead of doing an insane amount of damage, now the daggers actually float around the enemy, both of them, and they will stay floating and attack the enemy like every 2 seconds.
I think it's every few seconds
Yeah, every
they'll
few
they'll
seconds.
both hit you.
Yeah, well, one at a time, not like at the same time, but they'll hit you, and it will happen according to how many pips you have. So if you have like the full 4, each one I think will actually attack you twice, or I don't remember how many times. What was that?
It's every few seconds, but if you have the full pips, it's there longer than if you had no pips.
Right.
So I think
okay,
it was like something like
0 pips
10
is 1,
seconds,
and
15
4
seconds.
pips is 5 attacks. So yeah.
yeah.
So you always have at least one, and
So
then,
that means her mix-up game is godlike. That's what it means. When she has
Yeah.
the
It could
daggers
be,
with full
yeah.
pips, she's gonna mix you up so bad.
yeah.
Also,
It's not
don't
gonna be
forget
fun.
the buff just from the season 2 change or season 3 changes itself. Her shadow counter, which was one of the worst one, which was
Yeah, it
minus
was really bad.
14. Now it gets buffed crazily. She gets the most buff out of any shadow counter in the game, which went
Yeah.
from 14 to 8. So minus 14 to 8. So that's man, that's great. She got a lot of work done in a very positive way.
Yeah, and then although she can't mantis you from behind, like if she's dashing back, I mean, if she's in the air and tries to dash you, mantis you while she's jumping away, she can't do that anymore. But she can mantis in a combo for an ender,
Mm-hmm.
so she can dish out damage with that mantis still in another way. She traded one for the other. Overall, I feel like this is a nerf. I feel like she got nerfed. She does have some really cool juggle opportunities, and they did switch around some of her tumble kicks a little bit, so you can get some better juggle opportunities out of those as well. But still, like one of her big plays in her game previously was building up those pips and getting that dagger ender for huge damage, and now that's gone. Now you have to work
Yeah.
that into this weird little dagger cooperation, and at first you're probably gonna get it's probably gonna be the most evil thing in the world, because if they punch you once, they drop, you lose it all, so you got to be careful when you're using that ability. It could work with you or against you, which if you think about it, that's what we're talking about. The daggers are now thinking on their own. Remember when we were talking about how the daggers might
Yeah,
be controlling
exactly.
Maya? Yeah, so
I mean, it's definitely an overall nerf because not being able to dish out that ridiculous damage, it's definitely a nerf. But in the end, I think it might be a buff because people are going to figure out how to make those daggers work for them, and it's going to be bad when you're on the receiving end of that, man.
Oh, yeah.
Because
Yeah.
the fact that they're just following you around, it's like you have to think about how you're going to attack her because they're not going to go away when you start hitting her, I don't think.
no, they do.
They still
do
sit
go
there.
away.
They go away altogether?
Yeah, if you hit
Yeah.
Maya once, they're gone. But if she blocks it, they're still there. But if you actually just hit her once, they're gone.
Well, that's what I'm
That's
saying.
why she's
because,
most likely gonna.
I mean,
Go
if
ahead.
she blocks it, I mean, these things are going to hit you and open you up, and then you're done.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's,
Yeah.
I don't know.
the
It's a
ti-
burf. It's a birth,
the
man.
the timing to use it is on a hard knockdown, so that's just the way it's gonna have to be.
Yeah. Um. Well, hopefully we'll see like some good things coming out of it. But right now, I think it's more of a nerf for Maya overall. But we'll see, man. We'll see. Um. So leads us into Khan Ra, and dude,
Come on,
he got a bunch of
my
fucking
soup.
that Masoop is gonna start becoming a lot shittier. um,
So you won't hear it as much.
yeah, you got this.
I
You
mean,
got the list
I
in
don't
front of
know.
you.
Again, I just want to say and put this out there. I really don't think. I think when Conra first came out, he was ridiculously OP. But where he was at, I think he's fine, and that's why they didn't retool him too much. Like he got nerfs, he got buffs, just like everyone
Got a
else.
lot of
But
nerfs.
he's a well-made character, man. He really is, from what he was
One
when
one
he
of the
first came out.
one of the biggest nerfs though, man, is that Shadow Swarm projectile is minus 55 on damage. That's a
Yeah, it
huge
lost
nerf,
a lot
man.
of damage,
That's
and
nice.
the hitbox
Yeah.
size has been reduced, which is that in itself is kind of a burf because like now it's less likely to hit you. You can sort of like maneuver yourself around it a little bit easier, but now it's a little bit harder to destroy them. So if you want to get it out of
Yeah.
the way, you're gonna have to aim it a little bit better. But he did receive, some the jumping hard punch. He got a damage nerf. A lot of his enders got damage nerfed as well. Some
The jumping swarm.
yeah. Oh, the jumping swarm.
Mm-hmm.
He can no longer cancel into a move after it, but he can cancel a move into jumping swarm. Like that's still there,
And
but
Yeah.
it has more like if he does a jumping swarm, he has more recovery, so you can like get in there and whoop his
yeah,
ass.
yeah. Also the swarms was doing 6 hits. Now it does only 5. Um,
Mm-hmm.
what else? The block stun has been retuned. It's now -3 for light, -2 for medium, -1 for heavy. Uh, it's no longer possible to instant cancel the recovery of sacrifice, whatever the fuck that is. But yeah,
Oh, and the scorpion. How when you put out the sand, the scorpion automatically hits you in the face whenever you go next to it.
yeah,
Scorpion tail?
his
Hmm.
shadow scorpion tail now stays neutral, like wherever you place it, and it stays there. It won't go away unless he sets another patch of sand, and every time you get near it, it will strike at you. So it's a cool little
Oh.
bunker thing he could leave there, so that way like he could control the ground game while concentrating somewhere else. He doesn't need to
Oh,
control. He doesn't need to control.
here goes two big nerfs, man, that I just noticed, which was I forgot that they said this, which is he has 200% more actual damage when he does the sacrifice, right? So with the sacrifice, a lot of people
Oh
like to use
yeah,
it to get
yeah.
people off of them, and now you cannot instinct cancel it. So if you do a sacrifice, you're effed. That doesn't mean you can't cancel anymore. You can't use it when you have instinct because now if you use it, you're vulnerable to almost in all attacks. So that's a big nerf for Conroe players.
It is definitely.
Uh,
That's the getaway game is the
Hmm.
sacrifice. You
Yeah.
know.
So now you can't just instinct cancel it just in case if it doesn't hit.
yeah. Oh, but he also received. He can now charge his tornado projectile, and he can actually make it. He can make it
It's so
like
crazy.
super fucking huge, and the projectile.
You ever seen the movie Twister? You ever seen the movie Twister? That's what it looks like.
Yeah. You see the cows come home, dude. Cows
But
flying around and stuff.
they say that you can still jump over it. I didn't see anyone jump over it, but I mean, obviously they put it in
The
the
guy
game.
failed to do so
Yeah.
like 4 times, so.
Yeah. But if you charge it up to the max, it does become unblockable though, so there better be a way to jump over that or something. But yeah, overall he got a bunch of nerfs, he got a bunch of buffs and some things, but I don't know. He looks like he might have balanced out in some way, one way or another, but I think he might have gotten slightly more into the nerf side than anything. Yeah.
I don't know, man. We'll have to wait and see a high level
Yeah.
player like Sleep or some of those other guys who play him I don't know too well before we can say if he's I feel like is pretty neutral, you know what I mean?
Yeah. I see more
Yeah.
nerf, but I see what you mean. I see more nerf, you see more buff. It's cool. It's cool. Let's agree to disagree. The Conrad sucks.
You're just
I
a
don't think he
hate. I don't
sucks,
even know
but
why you hate him that much, man. Like I don't
I hate him.
understand.
I hate him. Next up is
Well, I hate him too.
Riptor.
Yeah, Riptor, Mr. Buff
Mrs.
City, I'm sorry, Mrs. Buff City, Buff City over here.
She didn't get that much, did she? I don't think so.
I
Not
mean,
a lot.
okay, look at these bullet points, man. Just count all the buffs
Well,
to
okay,
the. I
so
mean, just
she did
I know
get,
that a lot of them are smaller than others, but it's a lot.
yeah. She did get, the usual jumping, hard punch, hard kick, damage reduction, so, 15, 40%, respectively. So just like with everyone else, her shoulder charge also does less damage. A couple of bug fixes. Her tail flips are, what is it, more startup or slowed down. So now you can actually see it better. You can actually see her coming over, and they don't. They go more vertically now.
They go
right?
diagonal too, yeah.
Vertically or
Yeah.
diagonally?
It's like diagonal. So like it kind of looks like she'll flip up above you. Before it was like a crescent moon, if you will. And now it's
Mhm.
like once she gets to the top, she just kind of goes diagonally down.
Yeah. It's supposed to help with noticing which
So
one's which.
basically her mix-up game is nowhere near as good as it used to be.
Yeah.
I disagree. I disagree.
Let's hear it, man.
I disagree with because of her what was it, the flipbacks, and with the rolls. What do you call the move where she rolls over you? Whatever it's called, the flipbacks and all that stuff. So I think she's
So
gonna
you're
benefit.
saying like flip outs? Like
I'm
in
sorry, yeah, the
general?
flip.
Yeah,
Flip
'cause
outs,
she's a rush
yes.
down.
Her
Much like
her-
TJ, much like
she-
Thunder, much like Saber
Exactly,
Wolf.
she's
Yeah,
gonna benefit a lot more
benefit
than
from
than
that.
other characters with the flip out. So, I disagree. She will digress in some ways with her mix-up game, but if someone can get her in a vortex with the flip outs, that's gonna be huge. She's gonna benefit more from that than most other characters.
Yeah, I mean, if there was any like Vortex character that could benefit from a lot of that, I mean, it's definitely her. With the wake up game and everything.
Hmm.
And then her Predator move will also allow her to get in because now she's
Oh,
like,
she
lower
could
to the
dash
ground.
and Predator.
Yeah,
Yep.
Hmm.
yeah, and then she does a little bit more damage with her run back.
I mean,
flame
as a
wall.
Riptor player, I look forward to it. I look forward to using her still, man. I think she'll still be good. Just her, you're gonna have to think of different ways of crossing them up because I mean, the fact that we'll call it the tail flip. The fact that that doesn't get in as well as it did, that's like a big part of her game. Yeah, flip outs are gonna help her out, but is it
The
gonna
flip
be
outs and the
as
tail
good?
flip's gonna be crazy. Yeah, I think it is, man. I think it is, dude. You're gonna see those two things in combination gonna be just
Oh,
crazy.
well, I mean, I
Just
suppose we could
craziness.
use her, her new mortar. I could just mortar you.
Yeah, she
That's
did gain
true.
the
On a
ability
hard
to,
knockdown.
to shoot mortars up to 3 at a time, but they don't home in on you. They just go to the last position you're at. So
That's why it's gonna be great on a hard knockdown.
yeah, especially like it'll just help add little damage to those combos as well. It'll be nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's gonna be like grenades.
Yeah, just I think little things here and there with her. Shit. I think she kind of balanced out. I mean, to be honest, a lot of the changes to her were like basic, like the damage changes and all that, was like for
Mhm.
everyone. So I think at the end of the day, she did get like more buffs.
She needed damage changes too, man. Like she did a lot of damage, especially like especially her if you hit him with the wall ender, where you hit him into the wall and then you run up and grab him. Like, my God, did that do a lot of damage, man? A lot of damage.
I know, I agree. I think she was the second hardest hitting character, man. Besides Thunder, behind Thunder. But I thought it was ridiculous because of how mobile she was. So it was just, I never really understood that.
Yeah.
But no,
So that's.
I think she's good. Yeah,
Like it.
I think
You
she's
like
actually better. I think
Um,
she's better.
Riptor moving into Omen, and
Oh
Omen.
man.
This
Oh,
is where
man.
you guys are gonna be kind of on your own a little bit. I mean, I'll input, but this is where my screen got all messed up. I had to restart my Xbox, and
Um.
Oh man.
Oh man! So usual, some
Mhm.
damage reduction, throw damage reduced by 40%, air backdash by 15, and ender damage by 15. Um, they fixed a couple of bugs, but doing some auto doubles and linkers or manuals after the rapid
Yeah.
press portion of Furious Flurry, medium and heavies, and that's kind of
All
like
standard nerfs.
yeah, all standard nerfs. Open slider has less frame advantage on hit and has had its manual timing windows retuned. I think it's a little bit harder now. If you want to do if you
Yeah.
want to do a heavy manual, it's gonna be harder to do it, and that's like basically it. You know,
That's
like
that's it, man.
that's it. And he got a whole bunch of buffs, so they're trying to make Omen a lot more
Viable.
yeah, much more viable. Give him a bigger presence in the pro scene. Basically all of his normals, crouching heavy, crouching medium, jumping heavy kick, like basically all of them. All their windows, their attack boxes have gotten bigger. Like actually
Gotten
Not
bigger.
yeah, not just taller, but bigger. So his normals are better. His random fireballs deal 4 additional frames of hit stun. And one of the ones that stand out for me that I absolutely hate is his demonic despair. His 3 shadow gauge ability.
Yep.
Is now
The crazy
invulnerable.
thing.
Yeah, the thing that does 99 white% damage to you is now completely invulnerable from beginning to end. So if he starts to grab you and you're close to him, you can't hit him out of it. You got to run the fuck away or something,
Yeah.
and it will do all the damage to you. So
I think just what you're gonna have to do when you see those 3 gauges, kind of like how Fulgor has the beam. Same thing with this guy. When Fulgor has the beam, you gotta stay down. You
Yeah.
can't really you
can't
can't
jump,
jump.
man. You
So
can't
with
jump.
this, with this now, you just can't get close to him. So he's gonna have that,
It's
to
broken.
be able to
It's
open you up a little
broken,
bit
man.
more.
Yeah.
It's
It's
not
broken.
broken. You just,
Well,
it's just like I said. It's just you
even
can't
Keith's-
jump. Now you just can't get close to him.
Even Keats, was saying
What?
that even Keats was saying that if anything, this might be the character they might have taken a little bit too far with. Maybe they're gonna have to change some things, and I think so.
Maybe.
Because they basically did everything for him. They
Anything that does 100% white damage is too much already. To make it invulnerable like that, like, come on.
Yeah.
It's only invulnerable if you're close to him. Now you're just gonna have to stay the heck away from him.
Dude,
That's
It's not just that, but like when you couple it with everything else, like a shadow
It's true.
Reshikuken, like before, if you hit him, those 3 little balls behind them disappear. Now they stay there. So I mean, if you hit them, they will come in and
that
defend 'em.
is crazy.
Not just that, but they
That
also
is crazy.
doubled the shadow meter lockout. So if he hits you and he blocks out your shadow meter, if you thought that was already annoying enough, you have to wait twice as long now. Okay.
Well, I always thought that it was almost useless when they did it in the first place. Every time I saw the lockout and I would watch the bar, when someone else is playing, it always went away really quick. So I was like, it's almost useless to use unless you want to mix someone up like instantaneously. So I don't really mind this too much.
Yeah, and then okay, so he can now cancel air dashes into attack much earlier, so you can actually do cross ups and much easier now. And what makes this even more interesting is that now he has a new ability coupled with those air dashes, and that's it. He doesn't need to commit to just going forward or back. If he does back, he can go forward. If he goes forward, he can also go back. He can literally go left, right, left, right. You can even make him sort of. It presents some ambiguous cross ups. So if he's right above you, he could technically, just make himself
Cross you up on the other side.
Yeah. So it just sounds like he's getting so.
Dude, I mean, if you
That's a
combine
lot.
that with did they see my
It's a lot.
my screen got messed up? But what did they do with his teleport? Do you guys know he can like wake up and teleport?
Oh, you mean jump in the air?
Like he teleports through you, jumps in the air, kinda, and then he's like,
Yeah.
it's like a cross up. On Wake
They
Up,
didn't
did
really
they
mention
talk
too
about
much of
that?
that, did they?
No.
See,
I can't
combined
remember,
with
but I
that,
don't
with
remember
flying
seeing
on
that.
both sides of the screen, I feel like there's evil afoot.
Yeah, dude. I
Yes.
feel like.
And
You go on.
go ahead.
No, you go ahead.
Okay, well, his heavy kick damage also, when he's flying around and stuff, is increased by 65%. So when he's flying around, crossing you up, and he hits you with a heavy kick, he can go cross you up, heavy kick, land, cross you up again, heavy kick, maybe a couple times, and that's an extra 65% on top of that. And that,
Oh my
that's a reset. You know what I mean?
I
Gosh,
am
it's just
totally
so
glad
much,
and
so
okay
much.
with the fact that my Xbox died during this presentation of Omen because I would have
Would've
been
made you lose your
raging.
mind.
So like,
Yeah.
look. We can obviously agree that he received nothing but buffs. Nothing but buffs. And I agree that he needed some buffs. Like, he wasn't really like he needed some help, yes, but not this much. This is way too much. I think so.
Mm-hmm.
I think we're gonna see some of this stuff go away. How soon? I don't know. Hopefully by the time season 3 comes out officially. But yeah, I think he got a little bit overbuffed on that one. Yeah.
It's gonna. He's
Absolutely.
he's
I
he's
agree.
definitely S tier with Glacius. He's up there.
He's up there at the
I
moment.
agree.
Yeah.
I agree about that. Some of the things are, little overpowered, but some things he really needed. So we'll
Yeah,
see
like
what
some things
happens in
did
the
make
end.
sense. Absolutely, some things did make sense, but
Yeah.
overall, not all these things.
Yeah.
um, so next up
I agree.
is one of my favorites, man. One of my favorites, Agnos. I love Agnos, man. And
Uh,
and
you got a
honestly,
lot of buffs.
he did get a lot of buffs more than nerfs. Uh, Everyone else just same thing. Some damage reductions on natural disaster pulverizer minus 25%. Shadow Linker, Disaster Linker damage reduced by 30. Peacemaker overall damage reduced by 20. And now his Peacemaker respawns every 90 frames instead of 30 frames during his instinct. And yeah, that sucks. Uh, oh, and he gives more meter to his opponents on hit and block.
His chunk up is 6 frames faster also.
Yeah.
So that's crazy good. Because that's his bread and butter, chunk ups.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing that's supposed to make up for Peacemaker respawning so slow is that
Mm-hmm.
now he
Yeah.
can chunk up faster, and he can tear down his walls, become Peacemakers faster, and he can recycle those things. If he
Recycling.
yeah, recycling, he can actually
Mm.
just go straight from a wall into what is it? How do they describe it?
He gets a big club.
Yeah. Yeah, basically. He
Well,
can
he's always
actually,
getting a big club from the wall, but then he can put it back down and then get it again,
Right.
hit him a
yeah.
And
couple
he can just
times
keep
without
doing it over and
before it
over.
breaks. Yeah. Before
Yeah.
it breaks, he can do it again, over and over.
Yeah.
Overall, I mean,
And
he definitely got buffed, even though I don't think he should. I feel like he's gonna get nerfed after a while because, I mean, like I said, man, you put Aghanos in the hands of the right guy, and he is just ridiculously good. He's a lot
yeah.
better than people give him credit for, man. He
Now,
really is.
what people are
Especially
gonna
if you know him properly. Yeah.
Yep.
And
Now, if you're an opponent against Aganos, y'all didn't mention this. If you're an opponent against Aganos, you get a buff.
Oh
Y'all
yeah,
remember
yeah,
this?
yeah. You're right. Yeah, because if when he hits you, you didn't get as much shadow. Now you get more shadow when
Exactly.
Aghanos hits you with his
I
normal
said that
attacks.
And
earlier.
that could be a pretty big deal. You do?
Yeah, I did, but no.
And
Yeah.
you say a lot of things, Jose. All
I'm
right.
sorry.
Sometimes I
I'm
just
sorry.
don't like. I just don't feel like listening, man. I just don't feel like.
No, it's fine.
No,
But
I'm
no,
kidding.
yeah.
Well, we had to emphasize. We just had to emphasize that
Yeah.
because
I mean,
there's so much
it's
buffs that he's
useful
getting, but
because
that's
his armor.
that's a
That's
big deal.
huge.
It's a
Yeah,
big deal.
Yeah.
that's the
Yeah.
thing that changes it because now you can actually go through armor with hard attacks, so hard normal, so that's definitely gonna help. But another thing is that you won't be able to push his body. You won't be able to shove his body at the end of a round. So if you knock him down and you want to get in that corner, it's like, oh, I just need to move in that corner a little bit. You won't be able to. He's too heavy now. Like he's literally that heavy. That's how they explained it. So you won't be able to push his body into a corner or anything into a more favorable position. And oh yeah, and his Peacemaker does cause stagger on hit. So with the recycling
Oh, yeah.
and being able to like cycle through, the wall, Peacemaker, chunk, wall, Peacemaker, chunk, be able to go through all that. And in some ways, though, being able to create a wall is actually just another part of your inventory because it's like, well, if I want it to be a chunk again, I can make it a chunk. If I want to save this Peacemaker for later, I can make it into a wall and save it for later. So yeah, he's a lot more viable now in my opinion. And overall he got buffs. We got more buffs.
I can't believe his natural disaster is plus 25% damage. That's crazy,
mean,
man.
Oh, and
I'm telling you,
It's like
we're definitely gonna see a lot more Aghanoses
Wait, is
at like
the
high level play.
natural disaster. That's the one where he does that.
where it rains down
Okay,
the
raise them.
rocks.
Right. The other one.
Yeah.
The other one where he basically does like a huge ass like punch to you. The shadow version is now
Pulverizer.
Pulverizer is now completely invincible. Before there was like about 7 frames where it was free, where you can actually like hit him out of it before he started it. But now it's there. If you start it, you're gonna finish it. Whether you hit the opponent or not,
Yeah.
that's something else. But you now have
And that
total guarantee to do it.
and remember how much damage that did? That's also the Ender's damage does also 20 more percent.
Yeah, 25%.
20
Yep.
I'm sorry, 25. Yeah.
Yeah.
God, this
Yep.
is so crazy, man.
Yeah. So it's I know it's
He's
got
the
a
new
lot of cool
Thunder.
things.
He's the new Thunder, dude, with
For
damage.
being a character that's so big, he deserved to make to do more
Yeah,
damage.
yeah,
You know?
absolutely.
For being such
Absolutely.
a
I'm
big
not
and
I'm not
slow
mad at that.
character, yeah, he needed some buffs there.
I don't think he needed more
Exactly.
damage, man. He already
Well,
has all that armor.
Yeah, well, you know what?
No one's being Aganos. Not enough people are Aganos. So
Yeah.
this is where they're deciding how much buffs and how much nerves they want to give other characters.
Yeah, and I think
You're right.
that if
You're right.
anything, we don't need a full gore, so we can just delete him anyway, so that's fine. Uh, go ahead. What were you gonna say?
You can never delete the face of Killer Instinct. That'd be like deleting. Just as how that worked out for Mortal Kombat 3 when they decided not to include Scorpion.
Yeah.
They quickly came out with the ultimate Mortal Kombat 3.
Yeah, just so everyone knows, like literally, he is the face on every single box art version of Killer Instinct. He's always on the cover. He's always on it. From Super NES,
Yep.
Game Boy, N64, and this one, Killer Instinct for Xbox One. He is on the cover art. So yes, he is
Jose.
the face. Yeah.
Jose.
What?
Jose.
What?
We're talking to KI people here.
Hey, no, hey, I'm just like, hey, some people don't know, man. I mean, some people for this is their first experience with the KI is literally this game. They haven't played the
Yeah,
Super
that's
Nintendo
true.
version, so just let them know. Some people don't know. Next up is Hisako. Hisako got some cool things going on with her in this one. I like what they did with her
Yeah.
overall. They adjusted some vulnerable hitboxes. Now they actually match her size. Apparently, like it would change their size when she during an idle, but now they actually fixed that. So now it's like one consistent size throughout. Her low vengeance counter is no longer able to catch mid attack. So if you want to do a mid attack, you have to commit to a high one. The high one still catches mid and high. Her low only catches low. So now you can't play the 33% game, I guess. You're gonna have to commit to one or the other. You can't just be like, oh, he's gonna throw a medium, whatever. They slowed down the medium and heavy air attack by 4 and 8 frames.
We need this.
Yeah.
Which is kind of crazy. It was already slow, but now it's even slower. But it has such a large hitbox. That's probably how they
Right,
justified it in
exactly.
the head.
Yeah, but not just that, but they kind of justified it a little bit by giving her a completely new shadow move, which is the shadow version of it, which is a recapture. Or is it a bounce? I think it's a recapture.
That's a
I think it
recapture,
is.
man.
Yeah, recaptures air opponents
Let's
and
see.
staggers grounded opponents. There you go. So yeah. So she did get a shadow version of that. Her wrath meter no longer recharges when you're jumping, but it is 50% faster when you're on the ground. So if you just stand there, it'll come. They wanted to stop a lot of like the crazy mix-ups and crossovers that some people are doing, and that's supposed to stop that. And of course, she was already doing lots of counter hits with her meter, right? That's what
I don't understand what you're trying to say to me.
like with her what's it called? With her Nagata, whatever her sword thing. If she hits you with the full bar, it causes you to go into counter state, which is sort of like a stagger. So now coupled with the new abilities that she has now, she can actually
The bar
what's
is
that word?
called Wrath, I think,
Wrath
right?
meter, yeah, but
Wrath. Yeah,
every time
Wrath
she hits you with that Nagata, it caused a counter hit, right? Like instantly.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
now she can actually cancel into her descent. Where she goes into the ground. So now you can actually do an attack with that Nagata, cancel into it, and reappear the other side and continue your combo. And that was really cool for me. Like I love the way that.
Yeah, it was cool to look at. Definitely, I know what you're talking about now.
Yep.
Yeah.
I'm not too
And
familiar
she'll be able to
with
do
what
that
her
stuff
moves
more
are called,
often.
but it's
Yeah.
crazy, man.
Yeah, little
She'll
things
be able
like
to do
that.
that stuff more often because she gets a regeneration speed of it by 50% buff.
Yeah.
So that's that.
And the descent is no longer affected by Conrad's curse, so you won't slowly dig yourself in or out of the ground, so you can actually still
Mm-hmm.
go on quick. Um, yeah, it was the descent
Sh-
cancel, standing light punch, and jumping light punch cause a
Did you
flip
go
out.
over the
Hmm.
did you go over the her one counter you can hit low, so like she can't just spam counters in front of you?
Yeah, that's the first thing I said was
I don't remember.
the mid one.
See, we
So
don't listen to Jose. You're forgetting
I
Jose. We
listen
don't
to
listen to you,
Jose. It's
man.
just he's been saying a
We don't
lot
listen to
during
you.
these last two videos, so it's
I'm
like,
sorry. I'm just excited. This is
no, it's
exciting
Dude,
for
he's
fine.
me,
excited.
It is
I like it.
exciting. It is exciting. I mean, I can't wait till the next video, man. I feel like
I like
that's gonna be
listening to
my
him, man.
favorite
He has a
video.
beautiful voice.
Oh,
He
thank you.
does.
I'm practicing on my
Hmm.
voice. I'm trying not to sound like I'm
But
a
I
tone
also wanted
asshole.
to add one thing with Hisako that I always keep, emphasizing when it comes to the flip outs is that she has a command grab. So
Yep.
she's also one of the characters who will be able to benefit from a quick front dash to a command grab with the
Actually,
flip
and
out.
they were doing
So,
that. They were doing a lot of that during the
yeah,
demonstration. It was really cool.
yep.
So yeah,
So
that's definitely gonna be an awesome thing
she's
to look
she
at.
she's gonna be able to benefit a lot from it also.
The flip out, man, it's gonna change the game completely. But
It's gonna
that's for a
change the
different
game with
video. We're
people
not
like
gonna
that.
talk about it.
Yeah.
No, we'll just see. We'll see how the DNA of it will change with high level play from people who are command grabs. That's what I predict. Command grabbers are going to be able to benefit a lot from it, and I'm really anxious to see how that's going to be.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's gonna be crazy.
Um. Next up is Cinder, Captain Broken, as quoted by Max. Well, not in this game at least. He's alright. What do you guys think about Cinder?
Well, I feel like
Cinder,
Cinder
go ahead.
now is too hard to play.
Okay.
I mean, not okay. Like if me and you or Chepo or Hazardous were to try and pick up Cinder, yeah, we could play as him. But I feel like for the average person, who's coming in, playing some Killer Instinct, and they try and, I love Cinder. He's my favorite from the original because all I had to do is hit forward, forward kick, forward, forward kick, forward, forward kick. Yeah, he doesn't play like that at all anymore. I mean, he's a really difficult character to use, man, especially at higher levels with his combos. So I feel like everything they did for him was definitely a lot better.
Yeah.
But,
No, I agree. I think a lot of his buffs and nerfs kind of keep him. He went in a straight line, I guess. If you were to, look at a graph and say he got better or he got worse, I think it's just he pretty much even when it comes to how good or bad he
Yeah.
is. So,
I mean,
and that's okay because you need to be a high level player in order to be, uh, in order to master him. So that's fine with me. You
yeah. I
know.
mean, a lot of his things were smaller things, nothing too good, great,
Hmm.
nothing too amazing. He didn't get any big damage nerfs, which is pretty okay because he wasn't doing a lot of damage before. It was mostly
yeah,
like that
he
chip
doesn't do
damage.
anything,
Yeah.
Yeah, chip damage.
Yeah.
which they don't do anymore. No more chip damage uberness.
Oh, okay. Um, they did fix something that was kind of annoying, and that was the second and third Trailblazer follow-ups. Now always match the strength of the first Trailblazer in the sequence for breaker purposes. So if you start off with the medium
Yeah.
Trailblazer, you're gonna keep doing medium, So it's gonna be a little bit
Hmm.
easier to counter break all that, and obviously you get into the core mechanic of Killer Instinct with that. Will he do it? Will he not do it? That's gonna be a little bit easier. The Fire Flash Ender damage no longer causes a hard knockdown. Uh, oh, he did get like a little bit of damage nerfs, a little bit, 5%, 10%.
Hmm.
Yeah, for Trailblazer and Pyro Bomb. Um, but yeah, everything else. He can now throw air Pyro Bombs even during air Trailblazer. So this way he can be able to juggle you better and do some cool setups. And his
Yeah.
Inferno move got re-angled. So now you could go low, medium, and high, and you can keep holding that. So you could do like multiple stages of attack. So he can just
Oh,
keep holding
yeah,
it.
that's a big thing.
Yeah. And you can actually combo off that too. You can actually like use that and then shadow Trailblazer back into your enemy be annoying that way.
Yeah, and throw cancel burnout,
Yep. And
new ability.
yeah, throw cancel the burnout. You can cancel your throw into a level 1 burnout, quarter circle back punch, or quarter circle back kick. This spends your fired up state, though. Yeah. But overall, I think he's just middle of the road. Nothing too bad, nothing too good. I mean, well, if anything, now that he can actually juggle you with those pyro bombs a little bit better, he can actually do it within the combo. I think it's going to open up some crazy new things. It's going to be super fucking annoying, but, you know, like with everyone's getting some sort of way to juggle you better. So, and then not last, actually, sorry. Second to
Yeah, we
last.
can include him on the.
Who's him?
Oh no, I was totally mistaken.
It's gonna be
Continue.
Arya and then Shadow Jago,
Yeah.
but even
Yeah.
if when we do get to Shadow Jago, what is there really to talk about? Because
Yeah,
there's
yeah.
not much, anyways. But
Yeah, but
so
Arya.
I
Arya's next.
I understand the mistake. Yeah.
Arya, she now has negative block on her shotgun knees. Her light version is -1, -4 for medium, -8 for heavy. They fixed a bug that causes projectiles to inherit properties of her attacks, such as knockdowns or cash outs. They widened her breakable window on explosive arc linkers by 5 frames. That was kind of like it. Nothing too crazy. Like for
Her drones take a little bit more damage, so I mean, that'll be
yes,
something.
you're right. You're right.
Mm-hmm.
Her drones take now. Her drones.
It's not a
now-
crazy lot, but hey, man, it's something.
You could link it to her shadow now too.
Well, that's a buff. I was just talking about nerfs. Nerfs why she
Yeah.
got that. But yeah, her drones now take 2.5% damage, and that is a
Mhm.
lot. That is a lot.
Like, yeah,
dude.
yeah. Actually, you know what? Think about it. Yes, it is actually. So, not only does it stop it, but it creates more damage.
Yeah, so you got to be more resourceful and a little bit more cautious with those drones. Otherwise, they're not going to have a
Mhm.
good body to go to.
I
But
feel
yeah.
like I don't know. I kind of feel like that's. I already feel like she dies so quickly, and then I don't know. I don't know how I
Oh
feel
no,
about her
well,
nerfs,
hold
to be
on.
honest.
She's got a lot of buffs, so
Yeah,
just hold
yeah.
on.
So now she can charge up her grenades. Her grenades that come out of her leg. She can actually charge that up, and she can actually dash cancel them. So she could do like lots of cool little traps and little new traps and little fake
Yeah.
outs and whatnot.
Keep you in block stun. Yep.
Yep. And she got improvements on the attack boxes for her hard kick, standing hard kick, and crouching hard kick. So lots of hard kicking going around. She can juggle better, and her standing light kick and jumping light punch cause flip out. So she's gonna maybe she'll benefit from the flip out using those grenades. The charge ones. Maybe we'll see what people could do with it. Yeah, and what Ridge was saying, the shadow dissonance launchers and causes a hard knockdown is possible to juggle after this move now. So.
Absolutely. A lot has to do with that. Those little bombs. Her being able to juggle more with less KV. That's huge. But the bombs in the end, not only do they not push you as far away, but you can charge them. Therefore, if you're able to use a lot of the hard kick, just like with the bombs, you're able to do more mix-ups with her, which is what she needed. She needed a little bit more mix-up game, because she's too much of a straightforward character unless you have the sword, which does overheads. That's the only mix-up game that she has, and so I guess that's why they gave her this.
At first, I was gonna say how I felt like they should have given her more health, but then I realized they reduce everybody's damage, so she's gonna live a little bit longer anyway.
Well,
Oh, yeah, that's a good note.
know.
Yeah.
They were also that's a good note, but they're also saying that she does have the same amount of health as everyone else, just spread across 3 different life bars. But in some ways that does suck because it's like if you lose one life
It stops the game.
Yeah.
Right,
it stops the game.
exactly. If you ruin one of those bodies, like that's a big part of her game. You're just
That's
taken
1/3 of her
away.
game gone. Yep. So.
Yeah, so, but like I said, now she has more of a mix-up game, and which is exactly what she needed. I agree with everything that they've given her.
Yeah, so I think she got improvement. Overall improvements.
Hmm
For
Oh,
sure.
of course, absolutely,
Overall improvements,
absolutely.
For sure. So she benefited from the season 3 lineup here.
Mm-hmm.
And then last but not least, well, actually, I guess least because he has the least changes is Shadow Jago. most of them were, most of them were just like some quick bug fixing. Shadow into Kukin to hit one extra time when it was used the ground combo. So it basically instead of 6, it does 5 now. I think 5 attacks. A Shadow version. Added additional recovery time to end on slider enders, preventing some unintended juggles and other bugs. And the last little nerf was the earliest moment Shago can cancel out of his dashes into moves have been moved back 5 frames. So it's going to take you a little bit longer just to do the cancel out of it.
Yeah.
Oh no, you know what? I'm sorry. Shadow Endokuken projectiles deals 20% less damage on hit, and Shadow Slide is no longer throw invincible.
Yep.
So you can actually like throw them out of that now, right?
Mm-hmm.
Come
Good.
to
Yeah.
me.
It's exactly what, a lot of people, do slides that can be thrown. You throw them to punish them. He wasn't able to do that, and so I always kind of thought about that. Being a Thunder player, I always wanted to throw, and I could never do that to Jago. Now I can, so
Yeah.
I'm happy about that. For me,
Um,
benefits me.
and then he got a buff. Shadow Dive Kick is now throw invulnerable on startup. And what's cool is they actually fixed this too. The Shadow Dive Kick. Before, when you came down, it just came down like a stair, like he was running down a staircase. Now, if he hits you and it confirms it, he will reappear on the ground and do a series of hard kicks to you. And so now it's gonna cause less wonky things to happen because there were some times that people were able
Yeah.
to do it and it caused like some weird like I don't know some weird series of events to unfold and it kind of confused everything. So this is gonna fix that. So that's cool.
Now it's basically a guaranteed capture.
Yes. Now it's definitely a guaranteed capture. Thank God.
Yeah.
Yeah, because like
You don't ever want that
we don't
crap.
need more confusion out of this character that's already good with good cross ups and shit like that.
Yep.
Yeah, but yeah.
I mean, overall, he's a well-made character. He's basically, like you said in the previous video, he's basically like a precursor to what Season 3 was going to be like,
Yep, he introduced us to the juggles. I mean, to some much more expanded juggle game, and staggers. So yeah, overall, that's season 2, and that's the changes of season 2. If you guys want to find out what we think about these changes and what we think about Kim Woo and
another announcement,
Yes.
another character announcement,
Yep.
which we are very
Mhm.
excited about.
Yep. If you want to
Yep.
find out all about that, there's gonna be another video afterwards. We just trying to keep these short and sweet for you guys because I'm pretty sure you guys don't want to sit through a 3-hour video of these things. So,
No.
like, share, subscribe.
Thanks for watching.
Yep. And catch us on the next video.
Do it again!